Yo everyone, and welcome to this race between Xavier and ToyoMana. We're doing the All Trophy Races race, and it's specific.
Hello?
Whoa.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. He's having some issues with... Never mind.
Yeah, I probably need to adjust the audio.
Yeah.
Alright, so looks like no music. Again. Oh well. Not everyone can stomach losing 10 to 15 seconds for no reason but to hear the music. Although I wish the racers would agree to use it. It'd be good for the viewers.
Yeah, that is actually true.
I might ask, I have one more race left. I might ask Musty if he wants to turn the music on.
That would actually be really good. I mean, some of the people actually played with music and it was so enjoyable to see.
Well, I played with music until very recently, so I still miss it.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, I actually fell asleep to the DKR music yesterday. Just because I missed the music so much. I've been playing it way too much. So it seems like, by the way, Xavier is actually in the lead here.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize they had started already, but
yeah, they actually started already.
I thought they were just warming up at first, but I guess the race is on, so...
Yeah, and Xavier is actually in lead, and that is actually quite interesting, because if you actually see their PBs on the website, ToyoMana has a 29.42 or something, and I think Xavier is 30.29.
Yeah, so it's like a low 30 versus a high 29, but I honestly feel like at this level, maybe there's enough volatility in the race times where we might, not that unlikely that we might see an upset, but you're right, it is unusual for him to be in pretty far ahead too.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess that just speaks to Space Dust Alley, how inconsistent that level can be.
That is so true. But on the other hand, also, Xavier actually improved a lot. I actually saw some of the races with him before, and when he started tournament, I think it was past 32 or something.
Yeah.
And now it's actually down to quite low 30.
So he's... I mean, I'm watching his gameplay in Darkmoon, and it does not look bad at all. Looks like a sub 30 player to be. I'm sure it's only a matter of time.
Yeah, probably. I don't know, the only thing I don't know about these players are how consistent are they with out of bounds and which out of bounds are they doing? Because I have no clue.
That's true. That's good to know, although it looks like they're both playing in Japanese, although I'll have to confirm that.
Yeah, that is true. By the way, random question. Speed Gaming, which channel are we on?
Speed Gaming 4 is the one.
Oh, okay, then I got the wrong one in the information. I'm sorry for this.
Yeah, it was originally on 3, but that was the wrong time, so then I guess Fiesel moved stuff around, and this is where it ended up.
Oh, okay. Nonetheless, it's nice to have a restream.
Props to him for figuring it out on short notice, being able to squeeze it in still. So.
That is really nice.
And Xavier's stream appears to be behind, so I can't really tell.
Yeah, it seems like his stream actually froze. Am I wrong about that?
So let's hope he's able to fix that soon.
Yeah, I really
In the meantime, we can look at Toyo's gameplay, Star City. Oh, okay.
They popped back. Nice. He is still ahead, though. That is quite interesting.
So they're starting FFL. They must have agreed beforehand to do this. I could sort of understand that. It's for a lot of players if this is what you do for PB attempts, so it might just be more comfortable to do it this way. But this means we're going to see very early. Oh wow, that was very unfortunate. Fall off the bridge. Oh, and it looks like Toyo's audio. We actually have his mic. I think I heard him laugh when he fell off the bridge. That kind of incredulous laugh, I can't believe that just happened. But yeah, it does happen. That bridge.
And by the way, nonetheless, why you actually start Future Funland is actually because the first stage overall is really hard to execute it well, and there are many windows up for like missed opportunities, and you do a lot of mistakes. And then you have the out of bounds on the 4th level, which is also like you can mess it up so much and then you lose a lot of time, so you don't want to have those 2 stages in the end of the run.
Yeah, I think that's definitely true. I think as a beginner especially, like the whole trophy race is very hard, and then even later on it's still worth starting, I think, just for Space Dust Alley. The level is so inconsistent.
Yeah, when you get the plain stages like tracks down, then you actually do the whole game.
You can improve consistency at playing like in the other tracks, but Space Dust Alley is just, I mean, obviously
it's brutal.
But it's just a brutal track.
It's still like, even if you're really consistent at it, you can do one mistake, like ToyoMana there now.
Okay, so I don't know what's going on, but both of these players are doing Spaceport Alpha inbounds. I didn't see if Toyo went for the clip and missed it or not.
He actually didn't go for the clip, and I've been seeing him doing the clip before.
Xavier, I don't think is going for it either. I wonder if this is something they agreed upon beforehand. It seems weird that neither player would be going for it.
But maybe they actually go for a really safe route. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's just a coincidence and neither of them do this clip.
Yeah.
Although I would think that's kind of strange.
Yeah, it's kind of strange.
This is actually the easiest clip in the game. The easiest out of bounds, I should say.
It's actually the one that causes the most. Like, you get so angry every time you miss it. It's like easy to just fail it.
Yeah, the easier it is, the more. Well, okay, I don't know. Maybe Hot Top Volcano is easier. I guess it depends. I always found this one to be a little bit easier to get consistent.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I agree with you there. This was actually the first out of bounds I actually proceeded to completely like being somewhat consistent with.
Oh, Xavier's playing on English. I don't know how I didn't notice that.
Oh, I actually missed that. But then yet again, it's a huge question mark over ToyoMana not going for it, because he normally goes for it.
Maybe he knew that Xavier was playing on English and decided to not go for it. That's possible.
But maybe that is actually a strategy as well, because like he might go safe because he knows like he cannot even do it. Then it's maybe better to just go safe.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what he was thinking, whether he goes for it normally or not. You said you think he does normally go for it?
Yeah, I've seen him go for it. Even
okay. I haven't watched his runs before, so I didn't know.
I saw some races back with him, and then I'm actually randomly just watching when I was bored. So.
Yeah, so Toyo is Japanese, right?
Yeah.
The only Japanese racer in the tournament.
Indeed, indeed.
And this is the time zone hell group, so
yeah.
Props to these guys for even finding a good time to race.
That is actually true. What was the time difference between the two Earths?
It was like had one in Japan, one in Europe, one in East Coast and West Coast United States, or NA, I should say. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Then it's actually really, really good that they actually got the schedule working.
Yeah.
Because I mean, people have lives and stuff.
Mine was very easy. Everyone is in the U.S. except for Musty.
I remember how spread out we were in my group, but I don't think we were too spread out, to be fair. I think most of us were actually from Europe.
Yeah.
Because it was me, Hubbe, it was Gilly Guide, and it was Andy Panther.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so mostly you got Switzerland, Sweden. Where's Gilly Guide from?
I don't know where Gilly Guide is from, actually. But it was no problem like fixing a schedule for us.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I find Europe to NA time difference to not be too bad, because you just do like usually afternoon for NA is going to be evening in Europe, and that usually works okay.
That is actually true. Nonetheless, let's get back into the game.
Yes. So on to Greenwood Village, technical car track with a lot of sharp turns. Definitely test your drifting skills.
And actually like the micro gameplay, to be fair.
Nothing, yeah, you're right. There's like not any one thing in this level that stands out as being like really hard. It's just a lot of
small,
doing very optimal turns.
And that's the thing also, like, if you even fail with one thing, there will be a chain reaction to it. Because then
certainly can be, especially at this end part. I feel like if I bonk into one thing, it's disaster.
Yeah, then it's like, you're gonna lose so much speed out of it. But I'm still amazed over Xavier, to be fair.
He's playing very well. I wouldn't have known, if I was seeing this, I would have guessed that he had a sub 30 already.
Yeah. Maybe he actually already got it, but
maybe he does. Yeah, that's true. It would not be the first time that someone's time on the leaderboard was inaccurate.
Yeah, that is actually true, and especially in the tournament. Like,
so many people have improved like so quickly.
Yeah, like people are grinding like crazy. I mean, even as for example, like last week, I think I played around 30 hours DKR or something.
I have been playing a lot too, actually, more than I thought I would. This game is pretty addicting sometimes.
It's really addicting. It's a really good game, and like the sport, like the races, the tournament makes you wanna like grind really hard to get somewhere.
It's exactly the same thing happened with 100% last time, last fall when there was a 100% tournament, and a bunch of people came out and got massive PBs, myself included.
Ooh, nice.
And it's the same thing happening this time, except I think even more so because ATR is a little bit more. It's easier to get into.
Yeah. And not only that, it's like it's such a short race. It's like
it's short and it's action packed. It's such a good racing category, actually.
Indeed, it is.
The only thing that it has against it as a race category, I would say, is that there's not much to shake things up. I feel like if there's a skill difference between players, that's usually that.
Yeah.
But not always. There's always obviously the out of bounds, and sometimes you have people just play really well or really poorly.
Yeah, to be fair though, I've actually seen the races between Giz and Tofu, and it's actually like, it's still action-packed. And then it just matters on who does one single mistake.
Oh, that's true. When you're at that high of a level, I guess. Yeah.
And it's like if you bonk once, then you're behind by 5 seconds or something. It's like ridiculous. So in that matter, it's like this game is so good in that, like, it's just that good. You can improve so much and still have a lot to learn.
So I'm enjoying watching some inbounds windmill planes. One of my favorite plane levels. Also, embarrassingly, one of the reasons why I hadn't really implemented the clip yet, because I enjoy the inbounds windmill planes so much.
It's actually really nice to do inbound. And by the way, as I just saw in the chat, Trident Tail told us like Xavier splits say 30-0-3.
Oh, he's looking at his splits. Okay, so
he is.
It would not surprise me if he got a sub 30 in this race.
That is actually
the first or second game.
And that without the Spaceport Alpha is actually nice, really nice.
Not bad at all. So then, if that's the case, he would already have like a mid 29 if he did that.
Yeah.
The same thing with Javelin, another player who didn't do either clip, a Hot Top Volcano or Spaceport Alpha, and was still getting sub 30 time.
No. someone has the microphone on.
I wonder if Toyo knows that his audio is on the face.
It's still kind of funny though. But they're actually not far.
Yeah, this is very close still.
Yeah.
Moving on to Snow, possibly the most inconsistent trophy race, at least for me.
This is actually one of the worst tracks for every person who is not experienced with the game, to be fair. Everfrost.
I think Everfrost is actually my best in this trophy race. But this track is so...
Yeah, but to get it consistent and get
it's like so feast or famine, I guess. It's like if you hit chain the boost versus if you miss it, the time difference is insane. You can be really good at this track and still just make one mistake and lose a ton of time.
And that is so funny because like I did one mistake today actually and I got a 114, but normally I usually get 120 or something, and that is like I only do like 2 mistakes in the wall track and I still get 120. If I do only 1 mistake, then I get 114, and that is like 6 seconds out of 1 mistake. Just because I didn't chain 1 boost. That is actually ridiculous.
Yeah, a lot of it is I don't know. It feels like once you miss one boost, it throws off your rhythm in this track.
Yeah.
Everything else just feels wrong after that.
And probably also like you feel a little bit choking, like you're tilting at the moment just because you missed that boost.
Oh, the tilt in plane is very real.
Yeah. And I still feel like the chain boosting and stuff like that is so punishing in plane.
123 and...
Oh, he's actually gaining time here.
119.
190.
So reasonable times given their PBs. I think that plane is the slowest to improve when you start out.
Yeah.
So, like, I always was really frustrated, thinking I was just really something was wrong with me, and I was just really horrible with plane because like my plane times is like so much further apart from the top players, right, compared to car and hover. But that's actually just how it is. Your plane will always have a larger gap between the top players because it's such a sort of a snowball effect.
Yeah, but I think it's also like you need to take really much risks when you're playing plane.
Yeah, there's sort of a threshold where
you need to let go of the A button, do many barrel rolls and chain boost, otherwise you will not get a good time.
You have to develop a certain threshold of skill in plane just to have enough confidence to go fast.
Yeah, that is actually true. But I'm also referring, when you say that, I'm also referring to the top players who told me, like, well, if you don't take risks, you will never improve to the level you need to be at.
Oh, that's very true. If you practice the plane levels going slow, it's going to be very hard to improve at it.
Yeah,
you have to go faster than you're comfortable with all the time. That's the only way to improve.
I think you actually can apply that to every stage in the game, to be fair. Like,
yeah, that's not only true for plane, but it's the most true for plane.
Yeah, it's the most true for plane. Oh, that was so awful bonking. Someone is actually having music on as well.
Yeah, both of these players are having something of a struggle in Walrus Cove. This is a pretty annoying track sometimes.
Though I gotta be honest.
Oh, and hitting the pole.
Oh no! So ToyoMana is actually catching up now, for real.
Yeah, that Everfrost peak and Walrus Cove combined, he saved over 10 seconds, I think, on those two.
I think it's only 2 seconds between them now, maximum, like 1.5.
This is very interesting now.
Now it comes down to how well they actually perform this track. Though it actually comes harder tracks later on.
Yeah, Snowball Valley is not so bad. This track, I think, looks a lot harder than it is.
Yeah. I actually also think like this is one of the tracks where you can actually you can fail but still get an okay time. Like, of course you can always save time in every course, but I mean you can actually do pretty silly stuff.
Yeah, there's like a number of these like short, sort of chaotic tracks. I think this might be like the easiest one to get a reasonably consistent time in, compared to something like Treasure Caves, for example. Is kind of a similar track in nature, but like much harder to get a consistent time, I feel.
Yeah, in Treasure Caves you actually need to like chain the boost to actually get a good time.
Well, it's like you're trying to chain the boost in both tracks. It's just that in Snowball Valley, like, there's a pretty consistent way to do it, but in Treasure Caves, like, no matter what you do, it's just not gonna work sometimes.
Yeah, that is actually so true. And it's so sad because if you actually, like, if you're on a PB pace, and in your PB you actually did it well with the chain boost, and then when you play it again you miss one boost, that can actually lose you about 8 seconds.
That's how I feel about Everfrost Peak. I have like a ridiculous Everfrost Peak in my PBs. I feel like if I just play average, it's like, oh, I guess I just lose a ton of time now. And yeah, Treasure Caves can be like that for sure.
They're actually almost...
Look how synced they are right now. This is crazy.
They're almost perfect. Oh! ToyoMana's pulling ahead. What?
Oh, for once the rare collision box is working in his favor.
Yeah, I saw it.
What? You'll see that a lot going through like balloons and bananas, and it's really frustrating. Yeah. For once it was something bad that he went through.
Jesus. So they're actually really tied up right now. Like, at this point, if one of them miss a zipper,
yeah, if one of them like goes into water or miss a zipper or something, or gets
shot, when it happens, Jesus, I jinxed it. I really jinxed it. Xavier missed the zipper. But there's still like 3 or 4 seconds.
Yeah, this has been close like all the way through. What a great race.
This is actually quite funny because you can also like analyze what they actually need to practice on to become better. Like when you actually sit down and actually watch them like with critic eyes.
When you can see them together, it's a lot easier to tell.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's kind of like the Ghost in Time Trials.
Yeah, that's true. But I was thinking actually of Everfrost Peak and stuff like that. Like, you saw how much better ToyoMana did it.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
That's why he saved time there. It didn't matter that he actually played a little bit worse.
Like in Hover, like let's see who seems to have like better snaking movement. Sometimes it's really obvious, other times not so much.
I gotta be honest though, I don't have the knowledge of actually good snaking. I think I'm taking out the turns way too much. I don't know.
The thing is, like, there's a number of, you can have like different styles and they still kind of work. Like I've seen people go for like really wide and really narrow turns and get similar times. I can't say what's for sure the fastest.
So, for example, if you wanna ask someone to actually practice, you actually tell them to like just have the speedometer up, and then you actually try your best way.
Yeah.
Like what works for you.
It's you have to figure out what works. Like just as an example, I started out using the Hori mini pad, which has like extremely sensitive stick. So on hover, I was naturally doing like really wide turns, but I was getting like good times because Hori's kind of like it's almost unfair on hover when you're starting out because it makes the snaking movement way easier than usual. But then when I switched to N64, I like had to actually change my movement style completely because those wide turns, you just can't do it on the N64 controller. It just doesn't work. But yet I was surprised to find that I was still getting like the same times even though I was playing a completely different style in hover. So it's
that's a really good tip actually from Try and Tell. He actually told us like go to the overworld and use speedometer. Best way to find out. That is actually true because then you have a long length of just straight forward.
Oh yeah, the hover challenge with Taj is actually like sort of how I tried to figure out how to do snaking and.
Oh, so you actually timed it that way.
Ooh, well, I wouldn't say I timed it, but I was sort of doing that, like trying to see, okay, what seems to work.
Yeah.
But hover is still very mysterious to me. I feel like I understand a little bit, but there's still so much more that doesn't make sense.
They're actually more far away from each other now. I'm sorry for losing track of the race, actually.
I'm liking the music from Toyo Stream, though. There's no DKR music, but at least we got something.
Yeah, that's true. I actually lowered it down just to not hear myself and stuff like that.
Oh, are you not watching the...
I'm watching at both at the same time.
Oh, okay, so you're watching the delayed one as well, right?
Yeah.
How delayed is it?
Let's see. I would say around 15 seconds or something. To be fair.
Yeah, so anyway, Creston Island, they're both finishing up now. It's a level that is easy on the surface, but I think there's actually a lot to it. What just happened on Toyo's? What? That was a crazy magnet.
Who was using the magnet and why did it go?
It was
backwards?
like latching onto a computer that was like under him, I think, like inside the ship.
What?
That was insane. I've never seen that.
I've never seen that happen ever. He actually went backwards.
That actually caught him up a bit.
Yeah. He actually lost time.
What the hell is that? Alright, well that's the highlight of this race for me. I have no idea. I've never seen that before.
Wow. By the way, does my microphone actually sound okay?
Yeah, it sounds fine to me.
Okay. I just had to make sure. So, at the moment, they're actually... What can it be? Like, maximum 8 seconds in between.
Yeah, let's look at the timers when they finish this race.
Though the difference here is ToyoMana actually has the balloon and... Oh well, I didn't...
Well, he did. Oh, I missed the last one. Yeah, getting that balloon on the lap transitions is the hardest part, I think. Well, it depends what strategy you're doing, but...
I gotta be honest, like, I think it's 10 times harder to do when you actually get into the tunnel. and use it there. Like you use the zipper, you use the balloon, and use the zipper into the tunnel, like, and then you don't chain the last ones.
I go zipper into balloon into zipper, and then try to turn into the balloon in the tunnel, but it's really hard to do that. I usually miss the balloon, honestly.
Is it actually a balloon inside of the tunnel as well?
The blue balloon?
Is it actually a blue balloon inside the tunnel?
I don't think there's one in the tunnel. I was talking about like the turn, the little tunnel after the starting line. I meant.
So you're going for the one where you actually use the zipper, and then you get.
I used the balloon to connect the two zippers there. The one at the end of the lap, and then the one at the beginning. Of the lap.
Yeah. I've actually like mixed it up because I think one of them are a lot harder, but you save more time, and that is the one when you actually connect the one inside the big tunnel. But it's so inconsistent and it's so hard to actually connect.
Yeah, honestly, I need to put a lot more time into that level to figure out. I just do that strategy, and that's like what I've always done. But I have been told that like there's Oh my gosh, having a bit of a tough time with the end of Ancient Lake. Actually, they both got 48, so that's kind of funny.
Oh.
They had like similarly bad Ancient Lakes.
Yeah. He actually went into. I've never seen it. Like the last zipper of the lap, he actually went into the wall.
Yeah, he must have been drifting
probably he accidentally drifted or something.
Yeah. Or drifted the wrong way. Like that's what happened there. He just drifted the wrong way. I hate when that happens.
It actually takes a long time to actually learn to drift properly, and still you do mistakes.
I still drift the wrong way all the time.
I'm kind of more consistent with it now, but I still do mistakes. Like sometimes I'm just like, why?
Well, I guess when I say all the time, it still happens more often than I would like it to. Especially if I'm going for like IL times and you're trying to like do as optimal, like switch your drift as optimally as possible. There's a lot of times where you can just end up drifting the wrong way.
Yeah, that is true. You actually need to let go of the R button.
If you allow a little gap between switching, you can make it pretty easy, but then sometimes it's slower.
Oh god!
Yeah, that's true. Oh, ToyoMana is actually raging now. It's actually like, even though it shouldn't be microphones in the tournament and stuff like that.
Well, this is the first time I've seen it, but what is he doing? He's trying to. I guess he thought you could fit into the left side, but you can't.
Xavier.
Oh, unfortunate for Xavier. He actually could have taken the lead there, I think, or or at least caught up some time.
He actually failed earlier as well. You know the pool when you jump over. Yeah, he went into the wall to the left there and got stuck. So he actually lost the time there as well.
Alright, so Jungle Falls, very, very popular track.
Actually, one of the tracks where most people get caught up on the game, to be fair.
Yeah, I would say this is one of the first tracks people get like addicted to when they're learning this game.
Yeah, that is
Ancient Lake is kind of boring. This is like kind of similar to Ancient Lake, but a lot more interesting.
Yeah, probably because of the sharp turns and like the high speed you can actually get up. Like, even if you search for videos of the game, you want to search for this particular track, to be fair. Like, it's so ridiculous to see when someone actually runs it properly.
Yeah, I think this is the first track where I was really blown away watching Tofu, I think, do it a long time ago. It's like, wow, I didn't no idea you could go this fast.
I was actually bamboozled when I saw Geese running it from the first time. It was like, wait, he's actually flying with a car. How is this possible? Yeah,
like getting off the ground and like flying, it just didn't seem possible. Okay, so actually Xavier is going to get a decent lead here because Toyo is not going for the out of bounds.
And we're actually finishing up, by the way. This is actually the last track.
So I believe Xavier is just going to win because of this.
Yeah, probably just because of the out of bounds.
That's interesting. I wonder why Toyo didn't go for it.
Both of them on this last lap now. Oof, this is okay. Let's see if he actually goes for the full out of bounds and he actually completed it without wrong ways and stuff. Then he's actually gonna win, and he's probably gonna PB hard as well. And he actually does it.
Yeah, Xavier got a nice PB.
Congratulations, 29:44.
And Toyo also finishing with the 29.
It's actually only 6 seconds between. And the only thing actually deciding it was
yeah, that's really interesting to me.
Yeah, because
I wonder why Toyo
how
didn't
to
go
do
for the
it.
clip.
I wonder if he's not confident enough.
Maybe he was worried he was going to miss it.
GG ありがとうございます。
Yeah.
おはようございます。
Very close regardless though. Wow. Yeah, like you said, within 6 seconds. Or was it 8? Or the timer's accurate.
So the first game actually goes to ToyoMana. No, Xavier.
So yeah, first game going to Xavier. And yeah, reminder to the people watching, Toyo actually has a better PB by almost a minute. Well, actually that's not true because I was told Xavier has a better time than it says. But by about 30 seconds still.
Yeah. So when they were drafted, it was even more.
So he was favored to win, but I think that not going for the Hot Top Volcano clip really did it.
Yeah, I agree with Trident. This was a really great race.
Yeah,
like,
you couldn't really ask. It was close at almost every part of the race. It was
back and forth all the time. And so, to be fair, ToyoMana actually had the lead the last 6 tracks or something like that.
Yeah.
But the only thing actually mattered there was actually Xavier getting the out of bounds and clutching it in.
But yeah, fantastic first race from both players, and it's not over because we're going to game 2. And with racers this close, I wouldn't be surprised if it went to game 3 even.
That is actually true. And I really hope that it actually gets to game 3.
Yeah, I'm hoping for it.
And
I wonder if
race 3.
I wonder if Toyo will go for the clip next time, or if he's just decided he's not going to do it in the race.
Yeah, that's actually true. I would love to actually know what's going on with out of bounds and stuff like that right now. I really wish I knew.
Now, I don't know if there was any kind of agreement of the players before, or...
But it doesn't seem like it, since he actually didn't even go for the one, and Xavier went for it.
Right, so... At first, I thought that when Toyo didn't go for Spaceport Alpha, that it was because he was trying to be like fair to Xavier since he's playing on English. But yeah. I think that he actually just decided to not go for either of them.
I think he's just going with the safe. Like, he's not even risking it. But sometimes you actually need to risk to win.
I mean, the thing is, I would understand him doing that if there was like more of a difference between the players. But he really can't afford to do that against Xavier when he's that close.
Yeah, especially when he actually went for the Hot Top Volcano one, as you just saw now, clutching it out. So, but nonetheless, it was a really, really good race. I mean, I haven't seen people this close for a long time.
Oh, and they're starting again. According to SRL, so we'll see it in a second here. Not wasting any time, these guys. And here we go, Space Dust Alley. And we got Xavier's audio this time. But still no music.
Well, now we see if we actually have a microphone on or not. They're both going for some barrel rolls. Oh, missed the balloon.
I very rarely see anybody go for the lap 1 strat of going on to the right or left and getting those side bananas. I think it's a decent strat.
I always go for it, to be fair.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, I started to implement barrel rolls for it as well, so...
Every race I've personally seen, people haven't done that. So. There's a lot of things you can do in this level. There's plenty of bananas, that's for sure. So you don't have to get those.
Yeah, that's so true.
But,
yeah, that's so true. But it's nice to have them early. But as you see now, this is a brutal stage, and ToyoMana is actually getting hit by a lot of its hazards.
Yeah, he's playing it very safe, only doing 1 barrel roll on that section.
Not only that, he actually got punished by going into a tree and stuff earlier. So he's actually losing time.
So you want to chain it. And sometimes you can get double punished on this level if you happen to end up... Xavier just having a rough bonk, though.
Yeah, if you bonk, and then you actually have a balloon, and then you try to save yourself, and then you actually...
Yeah, I was going to say, there's a number of ways that things can go, like, doubly wrong on this level. Like, once you make one mistake, it can sort of combine.
Yeah.
$139 for Xavier.
We'll will it be?
And
like
alright, so XavierR having about the same lead as he started with the last race. Maybe having put a bit more time into Space Dust Alley, or just getting a better run that time. Again, it is a very inconsistent track.
Maybe he just did more runs.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he just did more quote-unquote PV attempts, really just practicing Space Dust Alley.
And I mean, to be fair, that is actually one of the stages where you're gonna play it the most of all stages in the game.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to reset and practice one stage over and over, it might as well be that one.
Yeah. And since you always start FFL, you're probably gonna do too many attempts on that track.
Yeah. So you see them hugging the right wall on these loop-de-loops. If you hold R and right on these loops, you will never bonk at the end. And at least on the second one, it gives you a good angle too to set up to finish the lap.
But if you use it on the first one, you actually lose time.
Yeah, you don't want to hold it at the end, but still hugging the right side is.
Yeah, hugging the right side is always good, and you can actually do it the whole way in the first one as well. But you just need to adjust it. You
just have to lay off a little bit at the end.
Yeah. Because if you actually hold R on the first one, you actually bonk into the wall instead. Because there is somewhat of a little gap in the end of it. If you remember what I mean.
XavierR having a drift problem. This is one of the worst levels for that, actually. If you are drifting over a slope, sometimes it will just reset your drifting state, and you'll just start going the wrong way. Yeah, I feel like that happens more in this level than any other place in the game.
And that can also happen if you actually go over a little hill that you don't even see, and you try to change the direction. Sometimes.
Yeah, it can seem to happen randomly because the slope does not have to be large at all. It could be a very tiny hill.
And you can actually also get locked into the drift, direction you're already going, even though you want to swap. Because it's sometimes
either way, either going the way you didn't mean to go, or keep going when you meant to switch. Either way is bad. So if you see anyone drifting into a wall, they probably weren't trying to do that.
That is so true. No! Toyo!
Oh, another fall off the... That happened last race too. I can't believe that happened both races. Oh, no. He's off again!
Oh my god.
His wheel got stuck on the edge of the bridge.
This is not a good start.
Oh my gosh, what a disaster, Star City. It's got to be tough to keep your composure after that. That is very annoying.
On the other hand, they're so evenly matched that anything can happen. He just needs
I mean, Toyo knows that he can do it, but I'm imagining how I would feel if in both races,
I would feel devastated. And not only once, and say, he saved it. It was almost going off again. That bridge is devastating.
Like, how safe are you going to be taking that bridge in the other laps?
Yeah. Oh. I just can feel it myself. Like, for everyone who ever played this game, even casually, that bridge, how many times have you lost a race due to that bridge? Even playing it as a kid or anything, it's like you probably lost.
He's losing 20 seconds here, actually. Wow, it's fortunate. Almost bonked. So yeah, you won't usually see that much of a loss on a car track, but that falling off the bridge is quite bad.
And that is probably one of the few car tracks that you can actually lose that much time, to be fair.
But again, neither player going for the out of bounds, so... Well, I guess, I don't know, maybe Toyo will decide to do it now, but I don't think so. He didn't do it last time.
I would love to see him actually go for it.
Well, he doesn't have the shield. Yeah, he's not doing it.
You can actually
imagine if he did, it would actually catch him up.
Yeah.
It would put him in the lead, I think, still. At least a little bit.
I gotta be honest, I go for the out of bounds without a shield 80% of the times because I always miss the shield.
Just because you miss it. I mean, honestly, and usually you don't get hit. I guess it depends exactly what your strategy is.
It totally depends on actually how fast you're going.
I feel like personally, it feels like over 50% of the time I'm fine not having a shield.
It's probably because, like, if you do the exact same thing in the start of the track, you will actually get to the same point in the laser like pattern, and then it's fine either way.
That's true. You sort of get a feel for where the lasers are gonna come.
Yeah, exactly. And like you see when you actually enter the room, you see where the first lasers are, and out of that you can actually, like, in your brain calculate out like when are the next coming, and when the next is come, you can actually go in right after them.
Right.
For example.
So 720 trophy. Let's see what our difference is here. And again,
Yeah.
Toyo overall seemed to be saving time last race a little bit. So until we get to Dino, we might see this gap start to close slowly.
Yeah, that is.
But he's about 25 seconds behind. Oh no, more like 27 actually. Sorry.
More.
Yeah. So nearly 30 seconds, and almost all of that is Star City.
That is so sad. That is really sad.
So an unfortunate start, but this race is far from over.
Yeah.
That difference is actually less than the difference in their PBs. Or, oh no, not anymore. Not anymore, because Xavier just got a large PB in the last race. I forgot.
Yeah.
So actually, their PBs are pretty close now.
They're actually only 2 seconds in between their PBs right now, just because of last race. So, which means they're actually on the exact same skill level. Because as Trident told before,
he had already had a low 30, yeah, and then
exactly.
Now he has a...
So it was only like 15 or I think, no, it was like 20 seconds in between them. And 20 seconds, I can actually say, like, that is nothing when it comes to racing. Like 20 seconds you can gain or lose everywhere.
Yeah, and it seems to me, seeing them side by side, it looks like Xavier's snaking is a little bit better. It doesn't matter a whole lot in this category. There's only 3 hover tracks. It's not as important as good car or plane movement.
Yeah, that's true.
It is important still.
But you can actually save a lot of time in any track, so...
Yeah.
And you can actually save a lot of time by actually snaking good and
130.
like routing the tracks really good.
Decent lap from Toyo. He might also be on pace for around that time, 130. Let's see. All right. Ooh, that's probably like the worst bonk you can have on this track.
Yeah, you
bonking right before you're about to do the chain boost.
But he didn't even have the blue balloon, right? So I don't think he could actually chain them. But he still got a 131.
Oh, he didn't have the balloon. I wasn't looking, but even so, that sucks. But it sucks even more if you had the balloon and then you can't do the chain boost.
Didn't he actually say that Xavier got a 130?
I think Xavier got a 130, and so that was, yeah, they're pretty similar.
So it was only 1 second difference.
Yeah.
But still, it's not good for ToyoMana since 1 second.
Yeah, he needs to be making up seconds here and there. It's the only way that he can get back ahead, and especially if we're also considering that Xavier is going to go for the hot top volcano clip, and exactly, if Toyo doesn't,
and we don't
he
know
needs to be like, I would say at least 25 seconds ahead to have like a chance to still win.
Yeah, that is so true.
Not exactly clear on how fast his inbounds hot top volcano is.
It totally depends on the skill level as well.
But it might not even matter. If Xavier's already ahead going in Dino, then it's going to be very tough for Toyo to bring it back.
Yeah, that is so true. I mean, you need to do a lot of mistakes to actually do Dino bad.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, besides the out of bounds, there's not really a whole lot of places in this game where you'll see large time losses. It's mostly just little things.
Like, the only things I can imagine, like, I remember when I was playing, like, I'm not far away from these guys in skill level, but I remember when I was practicing around, like, just sub 30, around there.
Wow, what a... Oh, he was, like, riding up the... Did you see that?
Yeah.
I've never seen it before. He was, like, stuck to the windmill thing.
What is going on? Okay, this
he's mad about that. You can hear him honking furiously.
Yeah.
I've never seen that happen. It looked like his plane got stuck to the flap on the windmill and was like he was like riding it up.
I even lost.
Okay, that was that was a very questionable bonk.
So it actually seems like, to be fair, Toyo's actually making up some time now.
Yeah, Toyo could possibly save over 10 seconds on this track.
Yeah, just by doing it normally.
Just by not getting stuck on the windmill.
Yeah. That is so funny.
Oh. Barrel rolling for the zipper and then not getting it, that sucks. I usually just skip that one, but I don't think the time difference is that big from... But if you go for it and don't get it, then that's pretty bad.
Yeah, you lose a lot of time out of that. So now we can actually keep a track on when he actually enters Haunted Woods, then we can actually see exactly how many seconds there is actually between them. 26 seconds.
Oof.
That is a really huge lead for Xavier.
Yeah, in a category like this, that's quite a lot.
Yeah.
Especially considering the difference in their PBs is almost nothing.
That is so
as of last race.
That triple bonk, though.
Yeah, Haunted Woods, short track, although I think it's one of the more fun and not, I don't know. I don't think it's terribly difficult, but I also don't go for top times in this track. I imagine it could be quite annoying if you wanted to really get a good time in it.
I never got the double zipper, so I could, if I just learned to get the double zipper, I could actually...
Oh, the double zipper, oh, you mean the one on the far right? I actually avoid that one at all costs. I hate hitting that zipper.
Not even that zipper, I'm talking about the one in the end.
Oh, this, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I never hit it. And
do you go left or right zipper on the bridge?
Mostly right zipper,
yeah.
To be fair.
See, most people go right. I like left better. Might be a little slower. Actually... I find it's easier to get the double though.
Yeah, but I've seen most of the players actually go for the left one. Even Giz goes for the left one.
I thought Giz went for the right one.
Maybe he started doing that.
I don't know. It's been a while since I watched a good player do Haunted Woods.
Yeah. Okay, so it seems like Xavier actually doing Everfrost Peak quite good at the moment. Like no major hiccups.
Yeah, but that's one of those tracks I feel like I don't feel like I need to practice as much as the others. It's just kind of fairly straightforward.
Which one?
Haunted Woods?
Oh, Haunted Woods, yeah. That is actually true.
Not this one, not Everfrost Peak, no. This one needs a lot of practice.
I was actually thinking like, okay, how good are you? Don't need to practice Everfrost
Although
Peak.
I will say this about Everfrost Peak, you don't really need to, like, once you're good enough at turning to be able to do the laps without pressing A, in some sense that actually like reduces the skill cap, because you don't have to worry about like tapping in plane and like when to do it and how to do it.
I've actually never tapped in plane.
Well, anyway, the tapping in plane is like not a thing in this level because you're not supposed to be pressing A at all. So I actually find it makes the level a little bit easier to get decent times at compared to something like Space Dust Alley anyway.
So you actually tap A in Space Dust Alley?
There's parts, yeah, like the end part.
I always just hold A.
It's not terribly important compared to car,
so
but it's something you should at least think about.
So it's like a small time saver.
Yeah, maybe watch. Giz has a lot of good plane videos with input display if you want to see the parts where tapping is useful.
But then, yet again, I cannot really compare to his gameplay.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying you should try to emulate him because that's not a easy thing to do.
Especially when he's actually...
It'll give you an idea of like what sections it's useful to tap.
Yeah, that's true. So I think ToyoMana actually gained some time.
Yeah, he's having a much better Walrus Cove.
Yeah. Like now he's actually chaining, like getting the boost properly and stuff like that. Okay, a little bonk, but that is not so important. He's
Oh,
not that
why
far
didn't he
behind.
use the balloon?
I don't know.
Maybe he forgot he had it. Or maybe he just thought it was too late and he was gonna like go off if he used it. I don't know.
Yeah. Sometimes I gotta say, like, that is the most like frustrating place to. If you think too much, you're gonna fail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, don't think, just go.
Like if you wait too long, you're like, oh, what if I use it and I go flying off?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta go.
But they're awfully close now.
Yeah, Toyo
it's
caught up
actually game.
quite a bit on the last two tracks. Actually, this is a pretty close race now.
Oh, by the way, Xavier's not going for the bananas in the first lap. Oh, no one of them is doing that.
I always go left first.
Do you go left first?
I go left all 3 laps.
Oh, I always go right to get the bananas.
I thought that was only a time trial thing.
I don't know, to be fair. I felt like
I've never seen anyone do it in balloon race. Oh, that's not true. I have seen people do it in balloon races.
But I'm thinking like
fine.
overall speed, if you miss a balloon, then you actually like you
Yeah,
get...
I think it's fine either way. Maybe going right first is a little bit more consistent or something. I don't know.
I think it's a bit more safer. Like it totally depends on what skill level you are, of course. Like
yeah, I guess like you say, if you miss boost, then having those bananas is really nice.
Yeah, and I really know that, for example, the boost in the left path inside the tunnel, I always miss that one. So I always appreciate the bananas.
Sometimes it can be annoying to consistently get that and the bananas with a good angle on the first lap.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll get the boost and miss the bananas somehow.
That is actually true what Trident Tail is telling us. Left is faster, but the right is safer.
Yeah, that sounds right. I've always gone left. Yes. Excuse me for 1 second.
Yeah.
1 minute, sorry.
Yes, no problem. So I don't know, I actually lost where Toyo actually lost some time again. Because it seems like he lost a second or two. But this is still really interesting because they're really close to each other. Like what can it be, like 15 seconds maximum? And now I didn't cut the time. That was unfortunate, but so far so good. They're actually finishing the stage pretty well. No major mistakes. And it's around 10 seconds between them. And they have 2 World Trophy races left. So anything can happen. But as we said before, it totally depends on ToyoMana if he actually goes for Hot Top Volcano or not. Or if Xavier actually misses it and ToyoMana just do inbound. It doesn't really matter, like, there are the options. 9 seconds apart, that is really close. And Xavier actually missing the triple booster. Let's see if ToyoMana actually gets it, because then we'll actually catch up a bit. You want the chain, like the zipper here, and the balloon you have, and the balloon. Oh, he actually got it. I think he actually caught up for a second or two there. But I gotta say, they actually play really well. Like both of them are doing no major mistakes at the moment. Somewhat ToyoMana actually lost.
So, where are we? Oh, pretty close.
Yeah, they're according to the times when they started the stage. I think it's around 13 seconds between them. That is not much at all. And as I said before, when he was gone, it's like it totally depends on the variables at the end later on. Like if ToyoMana goes for the HCV out of bounds, and does Xavier miss it, and like anything can still happen, and we don't know even the outcome. So we just
that's right. It's kind of a suspenseful moment in Dino. We don't know.
Yeah, that is so true. And it totally depends on how well they're doing.
But if it keeps going like it will be, then I predict Toyo will be probably slightly ahead at that point.
Yeah, that is true.
But then we'll see what happens.
It totally
but also might not be true. So.
I totally think like if they're playing as they did last race and how they're actually playing currently, I actually think ToyoMana will catch up and maybe even go further. But then it comes down to Hop Top Volcano. We have no clue. Like it's joker cards. We have really no clue what's going to happen. Like does he even know the out of bounds? I don't know. If he knows it, does he go for it or does he go safe? Like, is he gonna risk it?
You say you've seen him do the Spaceport Alpha out of bounds on stream, right?
Yeah, I've seen him do it.
So I would assume that he at least knows the Hot Top Volcano out of bounds.
Ah, Xavier. But that is a false assuming part as well.
I mean, I shouldn't assume that, I guess. I guess just for me, since Hot Top Volcano is the first one I learned, I guess I just assume it's the first one everyone learns, but...
I actually learned the Spaceport Alpha first. I started to do the Hot Top Volcano when I was already sub 30.
Yeah, it was the opposite for me, actually, yeah. Because I didn't get the Japanese card until later.
Yeah. Oh, I'm feeling so much pain for Xavier.
Oh, this Crescent Island is kind of painful.
So they're actually on the same lap right now.
Oh, another one!
Oh my god. Okay, now he's even getting tilted, so we don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, he is very expressive with his honks, I have to say. There's no music, but we get that at least.
He's playing the same as me. I'm doing the exact same thing. Always spamming the honk.
So yeah, Toyo made up about 5 seconds on that track.
More. He was actually 13 seconds behind, and now he's 7. So
oh, really? It looked like at the game time it was about 5 off. But...
yeah, it was around 5-6 seconds there, but it's still good. And I'm not rooting for anyone specific, but I really want the game free.
Well,
like, that would be so amazing.
Yeah, I'm rooting for Toyo in this game just because I want to see another game.
Yeah, same.
We'll see what happens.
Because they're actually really interesting to watch. They're so evenly matched, and they're like not doing any major mistakes. And yeah, well, except for Star City.
That was a pretty nice transition from Toyo. Let's see what he can get here. Banjo's bullying him a little bit. Oh, 44, not bad.
Oh.
Wow. What a difference there. And because of those last 2 tracks, they're now tied.
But did you actually see what he actually did? He actually flew over and grabbed the balloon in the air and still got it chained.
Like, yeah, he did. He did what I always fail to do, which is chain those boosts and still get the balloon.
Yeah.
And he ended up really getting a 44, which is pretty solid for his PB. That's better than I would expect.
That is better than I do. And to put that in perspective, I've been like streaming all day and getting 28 20s like all the day. So yeah, and I'm still not getting that good times in some tracks.
It's very nice treasure caves. He needed that, and now it's very close. Toyo actually taking the lead.
Yeah. Both of them are actually hitting the boost and everything.
But what a Sherbert from Toyo. He must have made up like 15-20 seconds in that Sherbert.
Yeah, he got up on that.
He's playing very well right now.
That is so true. I'm trying to figure out in my brain, like, are they actually both on PB pace right now? Or are they actually both behind? It's hard to tell because I don't remember the times.
Well,
specifically for the tracks.
For the last few,
because Hot Top Volcano is around 1 minute, and this stage is around 1 minute as well. No, maybe it's more. But it's like Fossil Canyon is like
you add about 9 seconds to the race time if you want to include all the transition, I think.
okay.
Except for the last track where it just ends right when you cross the finish lines.
Yeah, that is true. I totally forgot that.
So that kind of throws it off. I was trying to figure it out, but yeah, that does throw it off a bit. Oh, you're having looks like a decent. Oh, he got shot. I shouldn't have said anything. Sorry. I was gonna say he was having a decent ending to Fossil Canyon.
I'm still like I'm actually getting really excited now. Like I really want to know.
Yeah, this is
going for the HGV.
Yeah, I want to see it. I want to see what happens.
This is like crazy even, and it's like even if he saves time here, if it doesn't go,
he's getting stuck under the skull. Like, actually having to back out and go around the right side. That was a nasty bonk.
I'm really trying to figure out the possibilities here, and it's like I can't.
Yeah, if
like for example, if Xavier goes for the hot top volcano, he succeeded and go out of bounds, and ToyoMana doesn't go for it, then he needs to be actually like 10 or 15 seconds.
Assuming that Toyo's inbounds hot top volcano is good, he still needs to be, I think, further ahead than he is.
Yeah.
Assuming Xavier does it. If Xavier does a good clip and Toyo doesn't do it, I think Xavier will still take this. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, oh, come on, ToyoMana.
Oh, he's not doing it.
Okay.
Alright, well, let's see if Xavier gets it.
Yeah.
He missed the first balloon, doesn't really matter that much.
Totally comes down to this.
And he's
he
out.
Actually got it, and we will see if he actually completed it properly, but it seems like he actually practiced it a lot. No, Toyo. That was unfortunate.
Xavier just missed a checkpoint. Yeah, he missed the top left checkpoint. I kind of figured he would miss that. I wonder if he knows exactly where the checkpoint is. He still missed it. No, you need to go further up left than that.
No. Are you serious?
Oh no.
No.
Xavier's gonna lose the race because he didn't know. I think he didn't know exactly where that checkpoint was that he missed. He if you watched the minimap on that lap, he went past the finish line and then turned around immediately, started going back down. You actually can't do that. You have to go towards the top left corner.
Oh.
That's very painful. I think he missed it again. Oh. Well,
that means
I guess we're going to game 3.
Yeah. Oh. But as I said, we didn't know anything about what's going on.
Like you said, we didn't know what was going to happen. One of the things we said might happen is that Xavier messes up the out of bounds, and
yeah. And that is exactly what happened.
That's exactly what happened. You can see now that it's not free at all. Stuff like this can happen.
So, hype up everyone, we're going to game 3. Jeez, I still have adrenaline in my body out of that.
Wow.
Oh.
I'm just happy to be casting. I feel really bad for Xavier, but at the same time, I'm just happy that we're gonna see a game 3.
I kind of feel the same way, to be fair. Guys in chat, by the way, do you feel the same energy going through the body right now, seeing this race? I mean, it's so freaking close. And as we said before, the skill level is quite the same. They have PBs close to each other, and it's like stuff like this is gonna happen.
Yeah, like having watched these players these last 2 races, their skill level is so close.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe Toyo has a slight advantage, but the clip makes up for it. So it's very even.
But I gotta say, when I actually watch them play, like, I think Xavier is always pulling ahead early. and ToyoMana is
yeah,
always
it's that
coming back
FFL.
in the end.
Xavier's FFL seems to be a bit better.
Yeah, and later on, like in Sherbet Island.
Yeah, it seems like Snowflake and Sherbert seem to be the main two where Toyo is bringing it back.
Yeah.
So we'll see if that continues to happen.
And then it goes to the hot top volcano as the
yeah,
final
he came down
boss.
again, down to the last level.
Yeah.
So yeah, Toyo maybe onto something with his safe play. If that,
I mean, it's kind of working. At somewhat
it worked
extent.
that time, I guess. Yeah.
But I mean, come on, ToyoMana, he actually.
All right, I'm just excited to see it. Will Toyo fall off the bridge for the third time?
Yeah, yeah. But that's so ridiculous because this run he actually won while falling off the bridge 2 times and
well,
almost
losing
the third
20
time.
seconds in Star City from falling off the bridge twice, I still can't believe it. And yeah, he brought it all the way back.
Yeah, that is ridiculous. But it goes to say also, like, for those who never ever did a tournament match or whatever, like, the nerves are getting to you.
Oh yes, you will make mistakes you didn't even know were possible.
Yeah, you're gonna find weird stuff. As for example, when you use the magnet on the boat and when
oh my gosh, yeah, that was crazy.
You're gonna find these kind of things when you race. That is so ridiculous. It's like because you're gonna do movements that you usually don't do.
Right, so back in Spaceport Alpha or Space Dust Alley for the third time.
But I think already I can see a difference why. Oh, that bonk.
Toyo having a bit of a tough time on that zipper, and you can see how punishing plane is. That same sort of mistake on a car track would have been like a fraction of the amount of time loss that you just saw.
But then yet again, you can actually see the difference here, how much they actually practice the track.
Yeah, Xavier has clearly put a lot of time into this track.
Yeah, you can see all the barrel rolls he's doing. He's even doing this track a lot better than me. And I've been practicing this track a lot, but I'm still not confident enough to do all these barrel rolls he's doing.
Xavier clearly does a lot of PB attempts in all trophy races.
Yeah, that is so true. But as you see, it's like he's already pulling ahead by so much. I mean, what is it now? Like 10 or 15 seconds?
Yes, Lauren, Xavier is on US, so he will not be doing the clip. But Toyo also chooses not to do it, so it doesn't make much of a difference in this race.
We still don't know the reason behind it, but probably...
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but after seeing that he doesn't go for Hot Top Volcano either, I think he just decides not to go for the clips. Yeah, so once again, around the same time difference.
Yeah.
So I think it really is just a difference in how much they've practiced that level.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, like, it seems like they're consistent in different type of tracks. So
Yeah.
what I make out of this, if I analyze them both, it seems like Xavier is actually resetting more than ToyoMana, and ToyoMana has more experience overall. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe, yeah, like a bit more experience with RTA, like...
Yeah, it seems like he's actually not doing any reset runs, like no reset runs all the time, because he seems more like consistent overall, if you know what I mean. Meanwhile, Xavier really...
Yeah, I would say that maybe that's not why, but if player has a much better FFL than their other trophy races, it's probably because they are doing a lot of runs and resetting a fair amount.
Yeah, that is true.
And it's not such a bad thing because FFL is difficult and it's good to practice. But
and
you're right
that good to
that
actually get it consistent.
Toyo seems a little bit more well-rounded, I guess.
Yeah. I probably put it into the wrong words, but you got what I meant. And thank you for clarifying it. Yep, we're on race 3. First race is only 6 seconds.
Only the second or maybe third race, I think, that's gone to game 3.
The times are looking quite clean so far.
About 5 or 6 seconds difference here.
Yeah.
Let us watch for Toyo and his arch enemy, the bridge.
Oh, are we ready?
And he doesn't fall off.
That was a close one though. I hate the edges.
You know that he was thinking about that too.
Yeah. You can really see it in his movement. Like, no.
Not this time, yeah.
You will not get the lead this time. Ooh, Xavier actually was up and running on the edge.
For a second, I thought Toyo was gonna fall off again, but he drifted back at the last second. Okay. I don't know. I'm just worried for it now.
But I really don't want to see any more bridge fall-offs.
Yes, please no. Please no bridge.
It's hurting my eyes and it's hurting my heart. Mostly my heart. Oh, no. Oof. Oof. Okay, so...
Yeah, not the worst bonk.
No one fell off the bridge. That is nice.
Yes. Decent Star Cities this time, 122.
Probably 125, 26.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, 26.
So Xavier is going to come out of space, out of FFL with a lead, probably, but won't be as big as last time.
Oh, maybe not. He actually got stuck in the ground.
Yeah, for a little bit there.
That is actually gaining Toyo some...
Oh, like... he almost bonked too.
Oh. I can imagine, can you feel the peer pressure? Like, it's game 3, they know it's deciding who will win, who will lose.
Yeah, like... it's I can imagine the pressure, because like you know that you can do it, but the fact that it's game 3 means you already lost 1, so...
Yeah, but both
a lot of,
won,
a lot of mental pressure, I feel.
Yeah. I didn't go to game 3 in any of my games, but I can imagine it would be so much more pressure. I mean,
oh yeah,
like you already feel a lot of pressure when going into game, especially when someone you might lose to.
Yeah,
or,
like I have my last races with Musty, who's close enough to me. I feel like that could be a very stressful race.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure, a lot of the group matches were large enough gap in skill where there wasn't really much question of what the outcome was. But this is not that case for sure. These players are very close in skill.
And I think this is actually, for the record, I think it's the second or third matchup that actually have a game 3.
Yeah.
So all of the others actually.
You're right.
And this is actually kind of personal preference. I actually love to seeing game 3 overall, because I think...
Oh, I love it too. I know it's stressful for the runners, having been in that situation before, but it does make for a much more interesting match.
Yeah, and especially when they're this evenly matched. Like, it's not much dividing them at the moment.
Yeah, and this is, they finished FFL about 5 or 6 seconds apart.
Yeah.
Moving on to the first hover track.
There's still not much in between them, to be fair.
Oh, nice bounce on the log. I thought he was going to get stuck.
It's a log gamble. By the way, random question. Would you ever imagine someone implementing the logs in some sort of a strategy?
Like boosting on the logs?
Yeah.
You can kind of do it. I've like done it before, not really as part of my strategy, but like sometimes if I just see the log in a good spot, you can kind of go like, I don't know how to describe it, but you can sort of boost yourself on the log if it's in the right spot. And it's like
I actually like why I'm asking this is just because I actually in one of my a little bit older PVs I actually got a chain boost out of a log.
oh,
Like I used a balloon and then I got hit by the log in the correct like angle and I got double speed.
speaking of logs, Toyo got pretty lucky with that log. Did you see what happened? He got like shoved to the left, but then the log was actually rotating with him, so it kind of gave him a small boost.
That is so lucky, especially
if the log had been going the other way, that could have been disaster.
Wasn't it even an NPC actually going into the same log? It looked like it. And then it's even more rare to actually go in the right direction. Why cast 1199? Yeah, that would actually be a fun thing to actually implement if you actually could get good.
Yeah, like I say, like log boost is definitely a thing. I can't answer your question as to whether that's like a planned strategy, but I've definitely done it sort of like impromptu if it just seems like it might work.
What do you say? We force Giz to start practicing it. Just, come on, he's already having world records and all. He can practice it.
I don't think he likes the level that much. Maybe make Bando do it.
Yeah, maybe that's true. So there are actually just like 2 or 3 seconds in between them now. This is really crazy.
Yeah, what a crazy race.
Oh no.
They're getting such similar times on most of these races too.
And ToyoMana is actually catching up that much.
That was a very good Greenwood Village for his time, I think. What was that, 113? Yeah.
It's actually 1 second between them now. And ToyoMana pulls ahead.
Yeah, with a better beginning to Windmill Plains, that's all it takes.
Oh yeah, that's true. I was thinking first.
Although XavierR has more bananas.
Yeah. I was first thinking that, oh, is he going for the out of bounds randomly? Like XavierR was collecting bananas in the start. Like,
yeah, that's sort of just, I think it's just a difference. You can decide to go for more bananas or go for a faster start.
But on the other hand, ToyoMana actually executed that more well on this track, to be fair. He has the bananas and he did go for the boost.
Getting the ground zipper there, that's very important. As plain, if you were like detouring to go for ground zipper and then you miss it, it's the worst.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Because you waste so much speed just trying to get there.
So it's still like maybe 2 seconds in between them.
Oh, that's the second time I've seen Toyo do that. Go for a barrel roll to get the zipper and just barely miss.
They're just going back and forth.
He wanted that. He couldn't decide. He couldn't decide whether to do barrel rolls or go for the zipper.
They're actually completely...
Oh, it's so close.
They're synced. They're completely synced. What the fuck? And I'm sorry for swearing, everyone. They're so synced that it's unbelievable.
Ooh, that balloon, it made the difference.
Yeah.
$143, $145. Yeah, they're so close now.
They're just going back and forth. This is ridiculous. I've never seen this even race so far.
It's certainly the closest one I've seen, yeah. Like all 3 races have been within seconds.
Yeah.
Actually, the second race was the biggest gap we saw, and then Toyo ended up bringing it back.
Yeah, that is actually true. And unfortunate for XavierR, to be honest, with the out of bounds.
Yeah.
And that was actually the main factor that he missed the checkpoint. Because
yeah, and then for those who missed it, the both games were sort of decided by the Hot Top Volcano out of bounds.
Yeah,
Toyo doesn't go for it, and XavierR does. He got it in the first game and missed it in the second, and both times the race was close enough that decided it.
Here's the question though, will XavierR actually go for it in the third race?
Ooh, I don't know. I think he still will. I think I think if you've practiced to do it in race, you can't, especially when you know that it's this close. You need it. I feel like that's what he's thinking at least.
Yeah, probably. That is actually true when you say it like that. It's like even though I didn't practice windmill planes properly, I actually tried to go for it versus Hubba. So yeah, because I know I have no chance if I
Yeah,
don't.
like if I'm racing someone that's better than me, you know I'm going for it. And not necessarily to say that, like, these players are so close in skill
Yeah.
that I feel
Then you
like
might actually need go to.
you would feel like you have to do it. Which is
Yeah.
kind of why I'm surprised that Toyo didn't go for either clip.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised as well because I've seen him do the Spaceport Alpha. It's like, but why? Like, probably he's just too scared. Like, probably he doesn't have it run down properly, like consistently.
He's probably just anticipating like the nerves and like not wanting to risk it on something like that.
Yeah, that is so true. And I know for sure, like, just the out of bounds things are the most scary parts of the race. To be fair.
Yeah, it's like one of the only parts of the race where you can really lose a lot of time.
Yeah.
From one thing going wrong.
But it's also questionable because it's like if he's going for it, I mean, you save around what, 30 to 45 seconds in Spaceport Alpha.
Yeah, it's such a large time save that.
It's like if you know it, you should actually try to go for it because that could decide the race already there.
Well, and it did too. Like if Toyo had done either of the clips in race 1,
yeah, he would have won.
We wouldn't be having a game 3.
That is actually true. But that is actually quite interesting as well because, like, ToyoMana was actually only 10 seconds behind his PB in the first race, and XavierR got a new PB. So it's like it's ridiculous.
These players are both playing very close to their peak, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So that is actually quite interesting as well.
Getting PBs and near PBs.
Yeah, and getting that in a race is actually huge.
Although I would say with the nature of ATR, that's not like as uncommon as you would think.
Yeah.
I feel like once you have a time, you tend to play pretty close to it unless like something goes wrong.
Yeah. But that is also the thing, like when you actually have a time and you have the out of bounds. For every out of bounds, of course, you save a lot of time, but
that's true. Which
means you actually need to do it consistently to actually gain the same time.
Just what was that from Toyo? Did you see that?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I was actually reacting to.
I think he boosted up onto the slope that was like behind the camera or something. So it looked like he just went straight up.
So wait, ToyoMana's actually really ahead now. I was actually like looking at the wrong laps.
He has been saving in all of the games. These first 2 tracks in Snowflake, it seems like he always saves a lot of time.
Yeah. But it's like they're really playing at the same type of way, if you know what I mean. Like XavierR really had a FFL down. And then ToyoMana gets back here. But now this time ToyoMana didn't fall off the bridge, so now he has a huge lead instead.
Yeah, this is really about the same as the second race, except for Toyo not falling off the bridge.
Yeah. What a way, Chad, if you have
what a way to end the Walrus Cove. That's unfortunate. And I feel like XavierR will definitely be practicing Snowflake Mountain.
Ah, yeah.
Win or lose.
That is so true. I was just about to say, like, if chat has any questions, just question on. Bring it to us.
Oh yeah, for sure. Happy to answer any questions about the game.
Because there are a lot of things that are actually not 100% clear for people who doesn't play the game.
There's a lot of things that are like difficult that the players are doing that aren't immediately obvious just watching.
Yeah, that's actually true. So ToyoMana is actually a whole lap ahead.
Like one example, XavierR's going for this chain boost. Oh, he's not going. He's going for an easier one. Okay.
Oh, a question for Confistrat. What drew the both of you to the game? You can start.
I would have to say, I would have to give Tofu most of the credit. I think I was always was a big fan of watching his adventure mode runs, like years and years ago before I got into speedrunning at all. And then at some point I was looking for a new game, and he was streaming, and I was like, oh, I always wanted to learn this game. And then as soon as I started, Giz, the world record holder, came into my stream and was like giving me advice, and I was like, oh man, like this community is great. So I stuck around.
That is actually quite funny. My story is a little bit different. First of all, Diddy Kong Racing was the first Nintendo 64 game I bought with own money, and the actual first console with the first game I bought with my own money. So I actually bought this when I was a kid. And then I decided, because I was streaming a lot before, and I decided to let's do a casual run through of Diddy Kong Racing, like 100%, just for fun. And when I was doing that, Giz came into the stream, of course.
You know, he's very active about trying to get new people into the game, which is something I really admire.
And he actually succeeded.
Like I said, I don't know if I would have stuck around for long, but like immediately it's like, wow, the best player is coming and giving me advice. I feel like I have to stay now.
Yeah, and to be fair, Giz was like, because I wasn't sure about going speedrunning this game. I speedrun some other games just casually, and it was like, but come on, just try it. Just tag along in the community and just try it out. And then he gave me tips and advices and stuff like that. And he's actually the person I gotta be saying, like, he's the big pillar in the middle of the community. He's actually
for
the
sure, yeah. Like a lot of times, the world record holder in communities is kind of like distant and just doing their own thing. But this is very much simultaneously the best player and also like the community leader.
And I don't know where he finds the time. He's like working his ass off, but at the same time, he's always in and watching our streams and like giving tips and stuff like that. And he's like also playing the game himself. And I don't get it. He doesn't he sleep? Doesn't he eat? I don't know.
It doesn't seem like he sleeps enough. That's for sure.
That is so true.
All right, so doing some hovercraft levels here. Whale Bay. For a lot of people, this is the first hover track they learn.
That is so true.
I actually think it's kind of a mistake for this to be the first thing you do in hover, but but it was.
Ooh, I just have bad memories of the silver coins.
They both got 59. These players are really playing so similarly, like all the way through.
Yeah, that is so true.
Like there's some differences, like you saw. Toyo seems like he has a better snow, and Xavier has a better FFL.
Yeah.
And I think Toyo might have a better Sherbird as well, but like for the most part, their times they're getting on these tracks are so similar. Oh, that's.
He's actually getting good lap times.
Yeah, Toyo's having a decent Pirate League win actually. Or maybe his lap one wasn't. Oh, I hate that. Missing that last one. He got the, actual last one though. Oh, hit the pole.
He actually lost some time there, but
he lost like I think 2 seconds maybe even from hitting that pole.
But to be fair, his second lap was 2 seconds faster than Xavier's. So
yeah, Xavier's actually going to get a similar time even if he doesn't hit the pole.
Yeah.
Or slower still. He did. He hit the pole in the same spot, same exact way as well. I can't believe that.
Come on, you gotta stop saying stuff like that.
They made exactly the same ending.
You're jinxing them. Come on. Oh my god. Okay, so Comfy Strat, you said I don't run this game, but I plan to do in a few months. That brings up a good point that I should probably stream it.
Oh yeah, I would recommend it.
True. Because
even if it's not Giz himself, I'm sure somebody will come and have lots of advice for you.
Yeah, I gotta say the same. Like since I started to actually commit to Diddy Kong Racing, I actually started to watch for Diddy Kong Racing streams when I actually have time over and stuff, and I just sit and watch and like just to like when you're improving as a Diddy Kong Racing player or in general any game, you want to watch other people who plays. Because then you can know, like, okay, how good am I really? And at the same time, you can find some gems out there who are actually super good that you can learn from. And you can actually identify your own mistakes by watching others' mistakes. So
and, not only that, but also I feel like DKR, more than other games I've played, really experimenting is very important. Finding your own way to do things.
Yeah,
and so watching players is like, in other games you might watch the good players so you can try to just copy what they do. But in this game, I feel it's more like you want to watch other players just to see what they do, and just sort of use it as inspiration, you know.
That is also true because
gameplay.
Even for the top players, they can actually watch bad players, not bad players, but in general, like lower tier players.
Well, for sure, I am learning things watching these players, like strats that I wouldn't have considered doing.
Yeah, and that was just the point I was about to make. Shit, I cannot speak. I'm sorry.
I understand exactly. Yeah, well, you make a very good point. And in a similar way, like you might watch someone like Giz and say like, well, what's the point of learning from this because I can't do any of this? Like even if you can't execute what it is that he's doing, there's still a lot to take away from like, okay, like why is he doing this? Like why is he drifting here and not here?
Yeah, exactly.
Like there's a lot of little things you can sort of pick up.
Yeah, and it's really important. Like, but as you also said before, it's like this is actually one of the few games where you actually watch everyone. Like you don't only watch the top players, you actually watch everyone for getting ideas and like how will I execute my runs.
And at a top level, it's not as homogeneous as like other games. Like a lot of games at the top level, everyone's really doing the same thing.
Yeah,
I think DKR, even at the very top, people are still having their own play styles.
Yeah, that is actually really true. They actually have different patterns on some stages, and that is actually really interesting to see. They're doing some things differently, and that just tells how diverse the game is. This is hurtful for Xavier. He's missing the balloons and zippers.
Yeah, and Toyo has built himself up actually like pretty massive lead.
Yeah, I think he has around 25-30 seconds now.
Actually, he gained about the same lead from Snowflake and Sherbert combined as he did in Game 2, except like we were saying, this time he wasn't already going in behind 25 seconds like he was last time. So you can see that the lead is built up.
Oh, and as we say it, he falls down in the pool, taking a swim.
But I have to say, if it continues like this, it's going to be, even with the clip versus without it, it's going to still be very close.
Yeah, that is true. And I gotta be honest, like this time it actually seems like ToyoMana is actually on PB pace.
I believe he is.
Because he's playing really good and
he's about to finish Fossil Canyon. He's got, he's on 28 pace.
Yeah.
He definitely is. Although he needs to...
Oh, he didn't use the balloon.
Maybe not quite 28, but low 29 at least.
Yeah. But that is still like...
it would still be a large PB for him.
Yeah, his current PB is like 29-40. But don't forget that he's actually not going for the out of bounds.
Oh, that's true. I was thinking, in my head, I was thinking in terms of with the out of bounds.
So we have another question in the chat, by the way. I'm new to the Con Racing, so why do they use the Clockman, fastest character?
TT. He is easily the fastest character. It's not even close.
And the handling is quite well as well. To be the
the handling is not that well. If you're not drifting, I think if you're like if you're a casual player, maybe it could seem awkward to use, especially if you're used to like tip-top.
Nice save, Toyo.
Yeah, I was a little worried for Toyo. I thought that he might spin out into the into the water.
But yeah, mainly that's the TT is a lot like the name of the Clockman is TT, and his speed is a lot faster than any other character in the game.
Yeah, like if you just go into this level they're doing now, like Jungle Falls, if you just do like a few laps as any other character and then do a few laps as this guy, you will notice right away.
Yeah, by much.
So, in some of the races, people were playing other characters as handicaps. Like, it's a handicap to play any character besides TT.
Yeah. Okay, so 30 seconds in between.
All right, well, this is the moment of truth. So Toyo is a lap ahead, but oh, Xavier is. You were right. He's not going for it. I guess his confidence was shaken by too much by the last one.
Yeah, probably.
But I wonder if he knew what the state of the race was. I feel like if he knew what the gap was, he would have gone for it.
Let's see now, because I think Toyo actually did a huge PB.
But Toyo's going to get a large PB here.
Oh my god. That is actually
and that's the match.
That is really
Congrats to Toyo. And yeah, unfortunate for Xavier not having the best time in this inbounds.
Nonetheless, he played really well.
But it looks like he might still get a sub 30 if his last lap is decent. No, maybe not quite.
Nah, it's not enough time for that, to be fair. But nonetheless, this was a really good game. And to be fair, like his last time on, like ToyoMana's last time in the scoreboard was actually 29:42.
Yeah, that would have been a tough time for Xavier to beat, even with the clip. So yeah, very well played by Toyo.
And I gotta be fair, if Toyo actually goes for the both out of bounds, he will actually go sub 28, I think, with that skill level. So it's kind of scary because he does this well without out of bounds.
Like I said, I was thinking the same thing watching a similar player, Javelin, from Finland the other day. Yeah. Same type of thing. He was getting like a high 29 with no clip. And I was like, wow, he could like think about what time he could get if he actually did both.
Yeah, that is so true.
For Toyo, if he did both clips, this would be like a mid 28.
That is the same thing. Like I go for double out of bounds and I get low 28, but that's about it. It's like, imagine that they're just gonna go past me if they practice.
Yeah, well, if you race, like you said, if you race Toyo and you weren't, and neither of you were doing the clips, it would be maybe a pretty close race.
Yeah, that is so true. But nonetheless, this was a really amazing race. All of the three races were really good. And I've actually never had this much like adrenaline in my body just watching a race. It's
same. This was easily the most exciting race I got to cast. So this was a fun one for sure. Yeah, good race, guys, and congrats to both players on their PBs. I think.
That is true.
Yeah.
Xavier got a new 29:44. By the way, guys, don't forget to actually submit your times so we actually update on the list.
Yeah, so that the commentators can be accurate in the future.
Yeah,
so Xavier breaking that 30-minute mark in game 1, and then Toyo bringing it back with a massive PB in game 3. Excellent races to both players.
And I gotta say, ToyoMana, second race, Jesus, like.
Oh yeah,
ooh.
What a comeback! What a comeback after such a devastating FFL.
Oh, don't be sad, Xavier. Like, huge PB, and you have like a lot of potential.
Yeah, Xavier, you progressed so far in such a short time.
Yeah,
I mean, just use this as inspiration to improve even more.
Yeah, and Xavier, didn't you improve like 3 minutes of your PB like during this tournament? I mean, that is huge. That is ridiculous. But yeah, how do we do? Do we actually do an interview or something like that?
We could do an interview.
Do we have time for it? And how do we do it?
Well, first of all, is either player interested? And then if they are, we would get them in the commentary. But it is not required.
I'm just checking out. If they're actually
you're right. It's good to ask. I would have forgotten to ask. Oh, Xavier said he wouldn't mind. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Well, Xavier, I don't know if you have the commentary role already, then you should be able to. Oh, you don't. Okay, so you might not be able to join the commentary channel.
and maybe we're actually out of time.
Oh, that's true. There might also be something else on the schedule for now.
Yeah, that is actually true. And
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
also
think we can do it actually because Xavier doesn't have commentary role, and there would need to be like an admin to get.
Oh yeah, that's actually true. And what I see in our Discord as well is like there's actually another race active at the moment, I think.
Okay.
Seems
Well,
like
guess
typing
we're
right
done
now,
here then.
so just wait a second. Peaceless typing.
Oh. Yeah, let's not give up yet.
You
can drag them in. Okay, so Xavier, join any of the commentary or any of the channels rather next to ours.
You can join the general
we will pull you in.
Yeah. Just join the general or waiting room.
Huh?
Oh, I accidentally tried them at the same time. Yeah.
We both tried to do it.
Yeah. Hello, Xavier.
Hey, your mic is muted.
Yeah, you need to unmute your mic. How do we unmute him? You should be able to actually just click on the symbol for the microphone. Okay, now I think it's fixed. I think I
Alright.
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling alright.
All right.
First race was pretty good though, I must say.
Oh yeah, congrats
that's
on your
really
PB by the way. Breaking 30 minutes for the first time, right?
Yeah, breaking the 30 minutes mark was pretty good.
And
That's
winning
the
on top of that.
49-44, yeah.
But yeah, Toyo, obviously a pretty strong opponent. So I have to ask, what were you thinking going into Game 3? You decided not to do the clip in Hot Tub Volcano. Is it because of what happened in Game 2 that you decided not to do that?
Actually, I tried to do it. I just didn't get the balloon.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I just missed the balloon because I got the first balloon, I boosted it, and then I passed like next to the other balloon, so I
I
didn't
know
get
exactly what you were talking about. Okay,
Yeah, I know exactly
I didn't.
as well.
I somehow missed that happening. I thought you just decided not to do it.
Oh no, yeah. I actually did once. I tried to go for on all 3 laps, but just didn't work out.
I
Oh, that's
see.
unfortunate. And the same goes for the actual game 2. That was unfortunate as well.
Yeah,
Missing
same
the
goes for game 2. Was pretty sad.
Because you actually had the game 2 if you actually didn't miss the marker twice. So that is really unfortunate, to be fair.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
By
yeah.
the way, do you remember we actually missed the marker? Because we were actually like thinking if you knew or not.
Because I think I missed it at least twice. I think for the marker, I missed the first one after the second light, at the second lap,
Yeah.
and then the second one I missed it on the slopes going up and down
Yeah, yeah.
on the right side of the map.
Okay, yeah, so you know where it was then, yeah.
Oh,
It was
yeah,
just-
oh, yeah.
it was just after the lap transition. You just you didn't go far enough into the upper left of the map. That's all it was really, but
Yeah, basically.
yeah, but it was a very close race.
Very interesting
Won Game
races, to be
3
fair.
for sure.
Yeah, I knew I had a chance to win.
Mm-hmm.
The funny part
But-
was you were so even, like all the time.
Yeah, like
Back
all the
Oh,
way
yeah?
through. And it
Fighting for
was
the lead
kind of
all
the
the
same things every time, which was kind of interesting. Like you had a better FFL,
Yeah.
then Toyo had a better like Snow and Sherbert.
Yeah,
So it was almost like the same sort of progression every time. It's kind of
And the
interesting.
times were pretty similar all the time, and they were just battling back and forth. It was so amazing to watch.
yeah, that's pretty interesting.
So what do you feel about
I
the
didn't
races?
realize. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, you.
Oh, I just didn't realize like how much our skills were close in that matter because I feel like we're pretty close for the whole races.
You really were.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was definitely made it very fun to watch.
It was really nice to comment as well, like be commentary for this game, because like you were so evenly matched, and like even the tiniest mistake or tiniest thing that happened that we never saw before, it was like whoa. what just happened?
Oh yeah, there's some crazy things that happened. Like obviously you didn't see this, but there's some crazy thing that happened game 1 within Crescent Island. Toyo used a magnet accidentally, I think, when he was like about to go into the ship, and it like latched onto someone that was like under the floor.
Oh wow!
Right
couldn't describe. Yeah, I'd have to see a clip again, but
that's interesting.
I really wish someone could actually clip that later on, like just look it up and like clip it, because that
I might go clip that actually and like post it in the main channel, because I've never seen that happen.
By the way, you should actually post another thing. You know, when Toyo was hitting the flagpole, like, yeah, well, maybe Xavier doesn't do this, and then he's actually saving time, and then he goes exactly the same exact.
Oh yeah,
spot.
it was Pirate Lagoon. Do you remember the end of Pirate Lagoon in Game 3?
Yeah.
You hit the flagpole on the left side and then sort of went around the left after. Toyo actually did exactly the same ending.
Wow.
So we were like, oh, maybe Xavier will make up a few seconds here because of that ending. And then it was exactly the same ending.
Wow, that's great.
And it was exactly the same as well. Both of you hit the pole and then went on the left side.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to rewatch that race. Oh, Toyo was playing DK64. Can see it on the stream.
So how does it scheduling your races in this group? That's another thing I meant to ask. You were in the group of time zone death.
Oh yeah, the time zone hell, yeah. So it wasn't too bad for the other 2 guys. I was able to race them pretty easily on the weekends. I think I did one race 2 days ago on Saturday, or either Saturday or yesterday with Victor, and then I did my first race with Nordic last weekend. So it wasn't too bad to schedule. But then ToyoMana came up with his schedule, which was basically tonight, or like in the morning during the weekend. So it was like from 6 to 8 in my time zone in the weekend in the morning. So yeah, and it's also pretty late for me right now. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm sitting here at 3:45 in the night, so
yeah.
It's kind of awkward. But no matter how you did that, it would have been awkward for someone. So
yeah, that is so true.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What is up with the DK64?
Oh, is that still happening?
DK64 and Ellie race. Let's do that. No?
She can shrink. She's quick and nimble when she needs to be. I just brought the stream.
So nonetheless, overall, really well raced. Like, I haven't seen any race of any of the other races this close, and like both getting a PB. That is crazy. And not only small PBs, like both of you shaved off like 30 seconds off your PBs.
Oh yeah, it was 30 seconds, definitely, yeah.
And I just want to say I'm glad that you're feeling good about the race. Like, you have no reason to feel sad. Like, you may have lost the match, but like, you played, I think, above the skill level that everyone thought you had, and really showed how much you've improved. So
yeah, well, the only thing I'm sad about is the out of bound that I missed in both race 2 and race 3.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but it's just the race conditions. Those out of bounds that are like 99% consistent before, suddenly it doesn't seem that way anymore, right?
Oh yeah, in races, yeah. Just like the stress gets to you and stuff, yeah.
Alright, well, I don't have any other questions, I guess.
Yeah.
Alright.
I just want to say about it. Oh.
Yeah, I just said I just said to Fiesel that we're actually wrapping this up. And do you have any final questions, any of you?
I don't. No.
Questions or statements or whatever. Do you have anything you want to say?
The only statement I have is that I'm gonna watch the race over again. I think it's. I think as you guys said, with like how close it was, I think it's gonna be a good to rewatch.
Oh yeah, and even if that weren't true, I think it's still good to watch. Maybe watch your own races, because you can always learn something.
Yeah, and you can see actually like how good he actually did on certain like levels and tracks and stuff like that. And
yeah, sometimes watching your own gameplay after, it's easier to see what you can improve on. So
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And you can actually see how close it was.
But in this race in particular, you would even watch it otherwise because it's such a good race.
Yeah, it's good to know that it was as entertaining as that.
Well, by the way, thanks a lot for this race. It was really entertaining. I'm actually going off right now, and it seems like we're actually like, hello, do you actually want to commentary another game?
I actually can't. I would if I could, but I gotta go.
I'm actually thinking of going to it, but I need a short break between it because it actually took its time. So.
Yeah, that was a pretty long race with the
but it
few
was
races.
so nice. I gotta tell you, like the last things I'm gonna tell you, like I have adrenaline in my body all the time.
Oh yeah.
I was sitting like you know the babies when they're laying in the stomach. I was sitting like that in my chair.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Because it was so exciting to see.
It was very intense.
Forward to the screen and like, oh shit, this can't be more exciting.
This is great to know.
It was super nice. You should watch it, really. But thanks a lot everyone for joining in, and see you soon again.
Yeah, thanks for watching,
thanks for the commentary, guys.
It was a pleasure commentating with you, Muyo.
Same goes to you. Hello.
All right.
Take care, everyone.
All right. See you guys.